The long-awaited sequel that no one really asked for, Gladiator 2, is finally here, and I figured if Paramount could defile a grave for money, then so can I. Movies and bad video games used to go hand in hand. Whenever a hyped movie came out, there was always a bad video game to go alongside it. Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, The Lion King, you name it, it had a bad video game to go with it. While some of these turned out to be classics, like GoldenEye 64, a large majority of them were terrible. Clearly just meant to sell based on name recognition alone. Heck, E.T. is known as one of the worst games of all time. But this isn't limited to just movies. Anything popular would quickly be turned into a game to squeeze out some extra money. Luckily, people started catching on that most of these games were rushed and terrible, and they could just buy Call of Duty for the 13th time instead. So the classic movie video game slowly faded away. Until today, I wanted to honor this old tradition by creating a tie-in game for the new Gladiator movie. And to make this even more authentic, the movie comes out in 11 days, so I have to make this extremely fast to capitalize off of it. Fortunately for me, I just made a whole combat system in my Elden Ring knockoff, so I can just copy paste that and have a good foundation. Now, with this being a movie tie-in, we have to up the graphics. We can't have this ugly guy representing Pedro Pascal. Or whoever the main character actually is. Now, if you're new to the channel, my art skills are not up to Pedro Pascal standards. But you know what is? My credit card. And now with a worthy warrior, we can start designing the game. Of course, the main attraction of Gladiators is the Colosseum. People fighting to the death really gets the people going. But if you've seen the original movie, you'd know this isn't just about big fights. It's actually a political drama where the people in power use the Colosseum as a distraction for the common people, so they're easier to control. Man, good thing they don't do that anymore, am I right? Anyways, a political drama would make a terribly boring video, so I'm going to focus on the fun battles. And it looks like this movie will have plenty to choose from. But first, I have to make the Colosseum. Wow, perfect. And now we just need some more warriors to fight against. Game dev is so easy. I want the first fight to be pretty simple, so using the assets, I made a few more characters with different weapons. All historically accurate, like the guy who uses bear traps to fight. But right now, they all attack the same, which is pretty lame. So I gave them unique attack patterns and animations to make them all feel different. And now you're thrown into a ring with a ton of different enemies, with the goal being the last one standing. It is a free-for-all, so all enemies will attack each other and you. If you missed my last video, each enemy has a health bar that looks at the camera, and you're able to lock onto the enemy you want to attack. And once you finally defeat the last enemy, you can move on to the second challenge. However, to prevent you from just hiding until the end, I added the king, who gives you a thumbs up if you can go to the next round, or a thumbs down if you're about to be put to death. This will be based on how much damage you do in the round. So if you fought bravely, you're rewarded by having to fight again. For the next fight, I took the scene from the trailer where they fight a rhinoceros. I of course had to make a new model for the rhino. I got it imported and set up the health bar to be on the main UI so you can always see it. I then had to set up its attacks. Obviously there's the basic horn attack, but then I made one where the rhino runs to a side of the arena, then charges across, hitting anyone in its way. I then gave you some allies to help fight, and as soon as I made their AI not completely useless, I think it looks pretty good. Once you defeat the rhino, you're judged again and sent to the next fight, where the arena will fill with water and you have to fight with another boat. For the ship model, I opened Blender. No, I'm just kidding. I added some water to the scene, and then I had to make the ships move. The problem is, the player wasn't moving with the ship, but I eventually got it fixed. Okay, I'll let you in on a little secret. I didn't actually get it fixed. I just moved the whole Colosseum around the boats, and it looks passable. Just don't look at the sky. For the enemies, I made an archer who fires at you, but since you couldn't reach him with your sword, it wasn't a very fair fight. So I gave you a bow and let you shoot back. And with that working, I added a few more archers and moved on to the next fight. In the trailer, there's a short clip of the monkeys being released into the arena, so I figured that would be a really cool fight to make. I set up the monkeys and set up the people to attack them. Now you might be thinking, those don't look like monkeys. And you'd be right. Those are penguins. But the asset pack that I got didn't have monkeys, so those will have to do. They're close enough, right? Moving on. For the final fight, I wanted it to be a big boss fight, and if this movie is anything like the original, then Pedro will be the final boss. And he better be, because I'm gonna look really dumb if he isn't. This fight was actually really easy to make. Since I'd already made a boss fight with the rhino, I just had to give him 2 swords because that's what he uses in the trailer. Again, his health bar is part of the UI since he is a boss, but good luck getting it to 0. But with that, the game is done. Now, I'm not going to release this game because I don't think I'm legally allowed to, but are you not entertained? Let me know what other movies you want to see as games. I think Uncharted or Sonic would be a lot of fun, but let me know what you guys think. And if you want to see me go more in depth on the combat system I made, then check out this video. And I'll see you guys next time.